Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. What's going on, y'all? We are at the home stretch with episode 6. Today's conversation is all about women's empowerment and friendships with women. I know we've all had that one friend that forgets she has friends whenever she gets into a relationship, or maybe you've been in spaces where women empowerment is only recognized in relation to a man. Why does that keep happening? The latter is something I believe and I'm seeing that we are doing much better at, but the former is something I think we have a lot more work to do. We're gonna get into all of that today, so please enjoy this conversation that I hope will encourage you to ask yourself better questions on what it means to be a better friend and how you can better support and empower yourself and others. Enjoy the show. What is going on? Welcome to The Golden Hour with Rose Golden. I am your host, Rose Golden, and today I'm really excited to bring to you an amazing, incredible, two phenomenal women, Vic and Mel from the Solar Return podcast.
What up?
That's a clap. It doesn't.
That sounds like they don't like us.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait. Is there another one? Is there?
I need a gra-da-da-da. That one?
Do the horn.
Like, okay.
All right, yeah, you know what? All right, it's over. All right, what are we doing today, y'all? Thank you again for being here.
Thank
How we
you
feeling?
for having us. Yeah.
Feel
I
good.
feel really grateful and excited. This was my first time seeing you, like sitting down and talking to you in a
Facts.
while.
It's been a while.
Oh, same.
with you, so-
I know, I see you a lot on Instagram, but we haven't, like, maybe we ran into each other, like, somewhat random, but really quick. So this is cool to see.
Facts. I think somewhere in Philly, my last thought was going to be at Rowan for like the BCL fashion show. Like that was the last time I feel like I might have seen you.
Like, being really close, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else was kind of been, like, where everyone's working on their own thing. It's like, all right, bet. Y'all ready for a collab now?
Right,
Because
right.
we're out here.
Dang. Well, again, thank y'all for being here. So as y'all know, our topic today is women empowerment, but for y'all, we're going to get into it today. So women empowerment is something that I think a lot of people have a lot of different definitions of and examples of, and today what I really want to talk about is relationships between women and what is really keeping us from women empowerment. So before we get there, I want people to know who exactly is sitting in front of me. So can y'all introduce yourselves a little bit, please?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No,
She's
it's fine.
dead. She's dead.
Right.
You got it.
I don't want to lose, so I'm just gonna be the bigger person.
She was on the chat.
I'm Mel. I'm like, what do I say? I'm like, do I say to you? I'm Mel. I'm an artist, creator, teacher, mentor, all of the above. I love educating and self-expression, so and talking. So also a co-star of Solar Return, as you mentioned, with my girl here. So just a big creator and transformer of all things. It's like really, I guess that's very vague, but it's because everything I do is like it includes everything really. I love to just explore and like learn new things and then share what I've learned if it's helpful with people around me.
Word, thank you.
Yeah. That was a really good intro. I am Vic, and I
Should I do
am...
the clap for you? I just feel like I did it for Mel. So
Thank you. So I'm an artist as well.
And creator
and yeah, it's just like basically everything. I'm an educator, a mentor. I like to I'm in this process of healing, and so I like to kind of take what I learn and put it out there. Not necessarily as a content creator, but just within conversation, within every interaction and connection with people. So
Word.
That's me.
Thank you. So, as y'all can see, we have some very dynamic women here on the show today. And even though I don't think that we need it, we're going to do a little icebreaker. Y'all down?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So, this is from the game We're Not Really Strangers. Let me preface by saying this is not an ad.
Right.
However, if you or your friend, you know a friend of a friend whose team or somebody works on the show, show it to them.
Right.
I will not turn you down. Okay. What level y'all want to do? Because I know that there's 3 levels. Number 1 is perception. Number 2, I think, is connection. And then number 3 is reflection. What y'all want to do? And then y'all can even pick
maybe
2.
I vote 2.
She wants to go for the deep.
I want to go for number 3.
Okay.
I really do. That's my number. And
Yeah?
It's calling me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you want to, you know what? I'm going to even let you shuffle and pick it out. How about that?
Are we doing the same card or?
Yeah, we can do 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. Whichever one that's calling.
I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay. What does it say?
Oh wow. Okay, wild card. Both players write a note to your younger selves. You have an option to compare.
Okay. So I don't have pen and paper for y'all. So how about we just say,
A nugget?
what would you tell your younger self? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Anybody can go first. I'm trying to think of something too. What would I tell?
Like hearing that just made me. I guess obviously I am still younger self Mel, but older self Mel at the same time. But like little Mel inside was like, look at you all here doing an interview, like you know, being proud of like where I am today. And so I guess I would tell her like, keep doing you. Like you being honest and real and your goofy self is like, it always works in your favor. Like that's really how we're here, right? Like because I'm not scared to like open myself up to people. Are you like, you seem open to talk to you.
Right.
And so staying true to that and not letting people who aren't that way to discourage me or harden me up, you know? Because I think there was a point where I was like, you know what? Forget everybody. They're mean. And it's like, no, they need you to like shed some light and like love. Because some people are struggling with knowing what that looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah, just staying true, Mel, because you're already doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
As
you're already
Brene
doing
would
it.
call it, Brene Brown, armoring up. So shout out to Brene Brown too. Vic, how would you?
I think for me, it would be to just spend more time, like, getting to know myself. Because I feel like, like, I was very impressionable, you know, and very just, like, so worried about what everybody was doing and what everybody, you know, what the trends were and, you know, what people thought of me and stuff like that, trying to be popular and, like, and so, like, and when I did give into, like, trying to be popular and trying to do what everybody else liked, I feel like I felt more, like, disconnected and lost. And it was the hardest, like, times of my life. So, like, getting back to myself and, like, that, I feel like just that idea of, like, it's okay to not do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Like, that would have helped me tremendously.
Okay. Damn. Well, thank y'all for that. I'm gonna put this back on. So I think we're good. Or do you want to do another one?
No, that was good.
No, you said nah. That was good.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
What would I tell my younger self? What would I tell my younger self? I would tell her. I was gonna say. I don't like the words relax and calm down because I feel like that's very like devaluing of how you feel, but also like relax. Like,
but also
like you don't have to have everything figured out right now.
So it's like flow.
Yeah.
Flow.
Right. There we go. Thank you.
because it's more respectful. It's like just flow with it.
Because it's not just saying like your feelings don't matter. It's like no, like just
flow
be in
with
flow.
what-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even today I'm still like, what am I doing with my life? I have no idea. And I think I spent too much time obsessing over it instead of just being in the flow and figuring out what it is that I like to do. So I would just be like, you're gonna figure it out. To be honest, I still don't even know, but we're gonna get there. And it's okay.
But you're doing it, yeah.
You're doing it. I was
doing the
gonna
damn
say
thing.
you're doing this.
Right.
This is amazing.
We never see that we're in it because we're in it, but like you're in it. Like
Thank
this
you.
is it. This is a part of the whole story, the journey, the documentary.
Right. I received that.
What came up was like how when we're in like the present moment, like doing everything that we're doing, like it's only, you know, in hindsight that we can be like, wow, I was, how old are you?
26.
26, doing all this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But right now it feels like,
It feels like I'm doing nothing. You know what I'm
and
saying?
in reality, when you're 30, 40, you're going to be like, oh my God, I was a 26-year-old boss.
Right. Right. There's a quote, and I know I mentioned this in a different episode, but that life is lived forward but understood backward.
Right.
Like
That's why
right.
reflection is necessary.
Yeah. Right.
If you don't pause, then you miss out on like everything of even your own enjoyment. You're like, dang, I didn't even realize that's when I was having fun. Like I was so worried about the next thing that I
And just
totally
wrapped up.
like. Okay, I got all these photos, but like, where are the vibes?
Right,
Like,
the memories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Word. Well, thank y'all for that. Thank you for playing the game.
Right,
So
thank
we're going
you.
to jump into this topic for the day. So like I mentioned, women empowerment, and that us as women, again, there are a lot of different definitions of what women empowerment means. And just in my personal experience and even research, anytime I would look up women empowerment and even a playlist I would look up, it was all about being single. It was all about F this man. It was all about just like not being in a relationship. And what I'm hearing a lot is that women empowerment only has to do with when a man is attached to it, which I don't agree with. I think there are so many different dimensions of it that we don't talk about. So just to ground us, what do y'all believe is true women empowerment? And let's start there.
Yeah, that it is very tricky as you were like saying this is what we're going to talk about. Like it all opens up like so many different ideas. I like have, you know, the picture in my head.
Right. Yeah.
And then thinking about like all the ways they messed up that like idea, or like how when it was created that it wasn't equal at all, even for like women of color specifically. So I agree with you on the relationship thing is not a thing. I mean, if it's an abusive, toxic thing, like obviously you need to evaluate like how you feel women should be respected if you're not viewing yourself as a woman that deserves those respects. But I think what it really comes down to is just the supporting and uplifting and protecting of women, which is women empowerment, because we're always like at risk of like any type of abuse. It's so sad. It like I'm laughing out of like trauma response to it. Like Jesus. But yeah, so and so many times are we not included in conversations or situations or tables, right? So it's like allowing that space to be open, like, let me bring you here. Let me uplift you in whatever way I can. Let me stand up for you when I see other people are like disrespecting you or not showing you any love, essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for that. That was...
Yeah. That was awesome.
I know, everything that exploded in my brain, I'm like, okay. So, whatever, you know, it's just, I think that the support and uplifting, yeah, is what that I can tie to make it not so long.
That was great. No.
That was amazing. And I agree with everything. I think that the foundation of women empowerment for me is just like reminding women who we were before we were taught that we were something else. You know what I mean? Whether before we were taught that we were the cooks and the cleaners and the just meant to be barefoot and pregnant and just, you know, like before all that, you know, we were viewed as like magical. We create life. Like
I'm a portal.
I'm literally a portal. I literally can make something happen here. Like so it's like before everything just got like foggy, you know, it's just coming back to that. You know?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. And Mel, you mentioned just support in general. And that made me think of, in your show, in the first episode, you were talking about how you both just complement each other very well, and how in your relationship you create space, or you hold space for each other to heal. And how there was a time when you were upset, that you were very, emotional, crying, and that Mel just gave you the space just to cry. She didn't shut it down. She didn't say, "Oh, you'll be fine."
Right, I didn't tell her to relax.
I
was like, let's flow
you
with
just
it.
held that space for her. And I feel like that was just a really good example of one example of what, good friendships mean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then another thing that I'm wondering is, if we're talking about support, we're talking about, just knowing who we are, how do y'all think that we can better hold space for each other as women? Using that example, other than letting your friend kind of cry in front of you, what ways do y'all think that we can do a better job at holding space for each other?
I feel like just like the idea that like women have to be very competitive, and like we're so catty and we're so like possessive and jealous and all this stuff, like, again, that's fog that was put onto us. That's not really our nature. And so like when we clear that fog and we like see that like we're actually just there's no teams, but we're on the same team. We have so much more in common than we do in difference, right? So like when we see that, like it just makes me feel even more connected to you, because it's like it's not a competition. I want you to win, because to see you win as a woman, it's like almost like I'm proud, because it's like I see myself winning.
We all win.
We all win.
We all win.
I think it's that.
Yeah. I think that you just made me think, without us competing, I'm like, I'm like living a better life than you, so that would make her feel like I can cry in front of Mel. Like she can't see that my life isn't together. But it's like, shorty, like, bro, working every day at it. So this is what I'm crying about, And she's like, well, this is what I'm crying about. I was like, you trying to cry together? Because we got to do it. And it's like, I'm not competing or trying to pretend that I'm better off, or where that would create like, not a vulnerable like reality for us to feel safe and open to share that. And then when we don't share, it's just like piles up. And then now we become resentful that we don't have nobody to talk to,
right?
That we don't have no real friends, right? Because we never felt safe with anybody, but it's because everybody's trying to put on a front. And so that's why I think our first reconnecting conversation was just talking about how crazy and tough it's been. And like holding space, like, wow, I haven't been able to release all that from the pandemic of like all the stress,
right?
All this stuff from being in a new relationship, we like allow like, yeah, it's hard, and I see you and I feel you and I want to be there for you, and then we'll send stuff to each other like, this is what look, I'm crying about this. Instagram says if you drink water at this, whatever, like trying to share resources with each other that we can both like be leveling up and not being like, I'm going to only be the one leveling up by myself. It's like, let's both get this, because,
right.
We all like hold our own space. Like we wouldn't like replace each other. It would just be like, that is always Vic's spot. This is always Mel's spot. There's no like, I can't be in your spot. People would be like, that's not Vic. Like it would be so obvious.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So just realizing we're complements than competition.
Right.
Yeah.
Even like where, like I always start asking like, where did that come from? Like we feel like we always blame the media, you know what I'm saying? But like, did it really begin there? So we're going to take a quick break really quickly. Hey, you enjoying the show? I hope so. Can you do me a favor? And if you genuinely are enjoying the conversation, or you think that somebody else needs to hear this conversation, can you send this to 5 people? 5 people. Send this to 5 people that you think need to hear this message today. Cool? Bet. That's all. Let's get back into the show. And we're back. So before we cut, one thing that you were saying, I was like, I did not want to lose, was that you said that sometimes women don't always feel supported in their relationships, or that they don't feel like they can talk to each other. And I feel like there's two sides to that, right? It's like, on one hand, I think that there are, relationships or friendships where women have made it very clear that it's like, you're doing too much. I don't have the capacity to hold space for you, so no. And then the other side of that is more so like us feeling like burdens and feeling like we can't talk to our friends.
We literally talked about this
You know what I'm saying?
to each other,
like,
yeah.
like even sometimes I find myself holding things in until therapy, and I'm like, bleh, where it's like, if I have friendships, I have, good friends that I trust and that I know I can, talk to, it's like, why do I still feel like I can't go to them for things that I'm experiencing?
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, 1000%. And when you were speaking, I was thinking, what was like, because the way that you were speaking about like being there for and supportive of friends is like, you can cry, we can cry together, we can go through this, but it's also like, and something that I struggle with is like sometimes like sharing my wins, you know what I mean? Just because like it's like I don't know, maybe we can break that down together, but like that's a thing that I feel like, like sometimes friends don't have and like if I were to share my wins with Mel, like I know she would be like, yeah, and sometimes I do.
I think exactly like that, to be honest.
Exactly
Probably
like that. Like,
right, literally. Start crumping for you.
Right. But it's like, and I think it originates from that like idea of like the cattiness and stuff. Like I don't know if you're gonna be like happy for me. Like, so I'm gonna just hold this in. But then when I do feel like crying, I know you're a good friend for that. So I feel comfortable crying in front of you. But it's like, nah, we should celebrate too.
And like what? Like I'm like, and I don't know the answer. I don't expect us to have the answer. But I'm just like, what is the root of that cattiness, of that jealousy that comes out? And it's like, I am not an angel to that as well. Like I know I've gotten jealous. I've feeling jealousy toward others, and it's just like, where does that come from? Is it is it just myself? Is it me not? I don't know. You were about to say something.
I think two parts, because I want to quote my favorite J. Cole. But I'm going to quote myself first and say that it's having like a scarcity mindset of feeling like there's not enough for everybody, and coming from like urban communities where there literally wasn't, so like if someone made it out, it was that one person that made it out. And so like everybody wants to be that one person or that special person when now to J. Cole's quote is people think like if I make it, there's not a spot for you in it. And it's like, no, there's a spot for everybody in it, because we don't all like have the same to offer. But it is that feeling like there's only one spot available for a student or for whoever, whatever field it is. And that's not the truth. Like, we are so abundantly like have access to anything we want. But it's our own like beliefs that limit what we actually receive, because we're like, oh man, if she got it, that means let me just forget about that idea because she already has her own show. It's like, she has her own show, but you could have your own show too. And your show is not going to be the same show as her, and the same you could have the same viewers, and they'll be getting completely different content from each person. So like for you to think like there's not any more room for you, it's just a total made up thing. And like but when you believe that, if there's like a higher power trying to make us think that so that we don't ever achieve more, and then, then they've won, because we do believe that, like, oh, well, I guess that was the one person from Trenton that made it. Forget about me. I guess I'm going to be it. And it's like, no, like, we could all make it. There's, like, opportunities for everybody. And it doesn't always look the same either, like.
Yeah. Now, that definitely is like a... Like, I hear that notion, whether it's a male or a female, and I'm just, like, still... Yes, to your point, like, yes, I do agree. I don't think that we as women especially think that there's enough space for us, but I'm also questioning, why are we, like between between men and women, why is it that we are the ones who feel like there's not enough space for us? You know, like that's where I'm like, if all of us feel that way, why is it that we are really the ones who are like
Suffering from it, yeah.
You mean women specifically?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, whatever, you can.
Go ahead.
I think there's like the ladder of who gets it first, right? So women, color women are on the bottom of the ladder. It's like white men, white women and black men kind of like, I'd be like, where does it really go? Because it's like men usually are first. So it's like white man, white woman, black woman. And that's kind of like, I guess we could say like in different settings, does it change? And obviously I'm aware of that. But like general in society, like who is picked for careers, you know, like, and we're non-traditional, so we're not doing like regular like office jobs or like stuff like that. We're trying to create our own lanes. But like in that world, is that very like obvious that like, we're going to be the last to be picked, and we're like that token person that they just had to have on.
Right.
And so that messes up our self-esteem too. Like, damn, you only picked me because y'all had a quota or whatever.
Yeah.
And just trying to like, no, we do deserve it. We do deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It definitely runs deep.
Oh my God, it's so many different parts of
deep.
it that contribute to it. And we're just trying to knock that out. Like, forget it, I don't want your job anyway. Like,
I'll create my own.
Right.
See, look at that.
That's it.
What were you going to say, Vic?
I was gonna say I kind of lost it.
That's okay.
Wait, what was the question?
See,
I mean,
that's
we
why
were just
tell me to not do it if you're gonna lose it. That's why I was like, no, just
You know.
What was the question? It was just about why is it that us as women are the ones who feel like there's not enough space for us, and that was when you were like, oh,
Yeah. Okay. So that like
compared to men.
compared to men.
right, yeah.
Well, it's the it goes back to, in my opinion, in my origin story of this, I feel like it goes back to like just like not like women are, you're meant to be in this box, okay? And as we're sitting in this box, we see these super strong revolutionary women who kind of get out of the box. And so they get out and we're just in the box kind of looking at them like, wow, you know, you're doing your own thing, or you're out the box and I want to be out the box.
I wish I could do that.
I wish I could do that. But it just still seems so far and so like it doesn't seem doable.
Yeah.
And so and I was kind of just like, all right, if I do take on this journey of trying to get out this box, and you're trying to get out this box too. Some people are happy in the box. That's cool. But like if you and I are trying to get out this box and I've only seen...
So it's like representation, like what that creates.
Representation.
That creates the idea that it's possible that there is more space, but when you only see one person in the room, you're like, it seems like there's only space for one person. And
when there's not.
And it's like, well, it's filled. And it's like, no, absolutely not. But if you let that like discourage you from trying to be wherever, and also like question if you really want to be there, if they only have one per women.
Like, do you want it because she has it, or do you want it because you want it? Right. And I feel like with all of this, there's definitely a lot of self-awareness involved in this, but also in friendships, especially in having quality and good friendships. So for y'all, I'm just going to keep using you guys as an example. I do feel like there is a good balance between, I remember hearing, you're the feeler, you're the doer. We got water sign, we got a fire sign. And it's just like a very like beautiful yin and yang situation that y'all just kind of like fill in the gaps with each other. And that, again, from what it appears, it is balance between y'all. So can you tell me a lesson that you learned from a friendship that was not so balanced between a woman?
I guess like any of my relationships with like other water sign women are like, we're all so emotional. So like she's like more, she doesn't really like to tap into her her very emotional feelings, although she like acknowledges it in her private time where it's like, okay, I will assess these behind closed doors, but you will not catch me crying. And that's why when I did, she's like, wow, I'm sorry, this is a lot. And like, it's okay. I'm like, all my friends cry. Like that's what we're about.
We cry together, matter of fact. Like,
so
same.
that I can see like my one friend, she's a Cancer, so will before, and we've been able to talk through it, but like become too emotional about things or take things too personally, and it's like not that deep, but we're like, but why didn't she answer in like 5 minutes? She must be whatever little, because we're just very emotional and so not so balanced. And so I used to have a lot of friends be like, I'm a terrible texter, and they would get so upset, like, and take it personally, like, you're a fake friend. I'm like, I got so much to do. I can't be texting you all the time like that. And we're very much so balanced on, like, girl, I'm not even going to answer if you text me. And so she helps in that way, and very understanding, like, I don't take it personally if you don't text me back right away. I get you have your own life. I'm also busy. We also like being very present when we're with people in person, so we don't like to be on our phone. So if we're doing something else, it's like, well, I didn't take out my phone. I was trying to be with the people I was with. So when there aren't people who are understanding, there's been clashes of like, I feel like you didn't really want to talk to me. And it's like, you're being way too emotional right now. Like, I did want to talk to you, but I didn't because I was busy.
Yeah, the clash in expectations of what it means to be a friend. I'm hearing, okay.
I think for me, it's like, it's a big, like, I like to be around people who I feel like are good influences for me. Like I said, like when I was younger, very easily, like, impressionable, you know, like I am just a sponge. So like I hear you always cursing and gossiping and all this stuff. Now I'm just like it's subconsciously in my mind. Now I'm over here doing that. And I'm just like, I don't even talk like this, but you got me over here, you know, like, but, and so I really try to be intentional about like who I spend a lot of time with now. And I feel like an example of like where that wasn't, you know, the case is kind of just like history, letting history be the reason why our connector. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like, we don't have anything in common anymore.
Except for we've been friends since middle school.
Right.
That's it. But I love you, you know? And so I feel like I can't stop being your friend. I can't stop that, you know? But it's like, at some point you have to realize, like, you know, you can, like, I literally love everyone. So it's like, I'm not about to hold on to this one connection when, like, it's bad for me, and like not, and it's also just like that kind of energy, having that awareness of like, this is a connection that I'm holding on to that's not a good influence for me. So now like the energy is kind of like, it's a little draining. So now I can't be my best self and I can't show love to everybody because I'm over here being drained from a connection I'm afraid to sever.
Sheesh, that's crazy. And that brought up for me kind of on the opposite end of kind of feeling the pressure to maintain, but even the opposite end of like wanting to cut somebody off for not texting you back. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, again, we mentioned like the expectations sometimes don't line up between friends, but also for some, or I'll speak for myself, like maintaining friendships can be very difficult, especially between women. Especially, we're talking about jealousy, we're talking about competition, you know, mismanaged expectations, all of that. So why, I feel like I gave all the other answers, but in terms of like maintaining friendships, why else do y'all think it's so difficult for women to maintain solid, good friendships?
Ego.
Oh, the answer was there. Okay, explain. I'm here. I'm listening.
She
ego.
got a big ego.
And it's not, I don't.
Such a huge ego.
Yep. And it's not like, I'm always seeing stuff on social media about ego death, and this is how you, and I'm just like, I don't want to kill my ego. Like, it's a part of me. God gave me an ego for a reason. I'm not trying to kill it.
Yeah.
So
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah. But
it's something that I feel like once you're aware of it, like I have like I said, like I spent a lot of time I don't know if I can say this on here, but
I don't know what you're about to say, but yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So I did shrooms.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, all right, cool.
It's a vibe.
So my first trip, I feel like I had like I was able to hear myself, like myself, and then my ego, like, and it was literally like two different voices, and I'm just like, oh, so you're the one
who's been talking this whole time in my ear.
Yeah, you're the one who makes me act up. That's not me. So now it's like, and being vulnerable about that, and we talk about like these types of stuff all the time, and so it's like I can be vulnerable and say like, oh, you know, I acted up, but it was ego, you know. It's just having that awareness of like when you, because it's okay, we're human, we're gonna be catty, we're gonna be jealous, like, and all the self healing and awareness books and whatever podcasts that you listen to, like you're still gonna be human, and you're still gonna have an ego. I don't believe in an ego death, but like it's just being aware of it, and so like
I think it's like the death is like killing it from being the number one operator over your life. You know, driver. It's like, like you're no longer the driver. I understand that you're there to like make sure I'm safe and protected, you know, but like a lot of the times, like I'm not really in danger. Like the way that it makes me believe that I am, you know, like in other like actual danger scenarios, like and my other instincts are kicking in, but the ego tries to like really gas you, like, well, I think she's talking junk. You want to know why? Because you're the bomb, and of course she would be talking junk about you, you know, like, and it's like you start eating and you're like, and so it's like just removing it from the driver's seat. It's like you're gonna have to actually go to the back, because I like
need you
go in the trunk. I like the trunk. Go in the trunk. Like, the one that's like open, like an SUV, or you can still see back there.
Right,
but, like,
but it's not. And you know what's crazy? Super sidebar, but I had a realization about my ego versus my higher self voice the other day, because I was questioning myself in something and I was doubting something. And when I asked myself a question, it was like, should I do this? Or, you know, the voice was quick to be like, no, because da-da-da-da. And then I asked again, and I think I remember intentionally asking, like, my higher self this question, and it was slow to answer. It was slow to answer, and it was soft. And it was like, yes, we gave you the green light. That is the answer. It has always been. So, like, for me, when I'm thinking of, like, which voice is it, the ego's quick to be like, no, because you're dumb and you're stupid and ugly and da-da-da-da. And it's like, no. I don't think it's that easy, that quick. But that was just a sidebar. But definitely had that.
No, that was good.
Just like in my head.
I feel like we all needed that.
You get the spirit fingers.
Because the spirit was here. So, but with this being said, we're gonna pause really quickly and do a just fit check. Okay, I want to talk really quick about what you're wearing, what you got on, and here's why really quickly. So, if you know me, you know I love thrifting a lot. You know that you don't always need to spend a lot of money to look cute and look fly. So can y'all tell me a little bit about what you're wearing? Why was this the flavor that we had on today? And yeah, whoever wants to begin can begin.
These are Goodwill.
Period. Seriously?
I love thrifting too.
Those are a good fit.
Yeah, this is Goodwill. This is another thrift store pickup. Not Goodwill though, but I think you know the thrift store by Rowan actually.
Which one? Red, white, and blue.
There's one by Rowan.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, I don't know, but red, white, and blue is the bomb. That's the best one.
That's where I got this crazy jumpsuit for $5. The
best one.
That is insane.
Oh no! Not this.
Oh, I was gonna say like
no.
Whoa.
It was a purple and green like track like gym teacher suit. That was $5, but no, this was not.
No,
it was
red, white, and blue. They really. That's my number one.
Really?
No.
Oh, you gotta go. Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mel? What you got on?
So I'm not thrifted out today.
That's okay.
Okay, but I do love thrifting. I love clothes in general. I love textures, and I like expressing myself through clothes. So I was just laughing with my boyfriend about this. my latest style trend is like super athleisure all the time. I'm like a homeschool teacher, so I'm just in someone's house like doing this. So, and it's a little kid, so we're like rolling around. So I'm always comfy, but I love colors and I love still feeling like I've been expressed outwardly. Like this is like, you know, it gets me excited to see purple and think of like my crown and like, yes, let's get
Fire.
it. And being cozy and just treating myself to what makes my body feel good and safe and confident to walk out and talk to whoever.
Right. Well, thank y'all for showing up. And just for me, this is actually a pretty little thing. So this was like
Nice.
30-ish, but this is Wally World. This mock neck
I don't
is
know Wally World.
Walmart.
Wally World. Wow. Wow.
It's Walmart. And yeah, so if you need
That's
some
really nice.
clothes, they got the shoes. These are
Tell me about the shoes.
It's so funny.
I
I saw
wanna
your
say
three
call it
toes
spring.
wiggle.
My little 3 toes are showing. I just got them done. Thank you so much. First pedicure in like a couple months.
It's
for
winter.
y'all. It was for
Right,
y'all.
it's winter.
No, call it spring. I want to say.
Okay.
This is Call It Spring.
Okay.
So yeah, thank y'all for sharing, and also thank you for showing up in what is most comfortable to you as well. So thank you, shout out to y'all for that. So now we're gonna hop back into the conversation, but we had just mentioned, or I had just mentioned about cutting off friends and how easily it is for us to just snip, cut it off.
Did you just?
So
Like-
she sure did. She sure did. So do y'all think, or has cancel culture that we have right now affected any of your friendships that you have had, or any of that?
Like, as in like something they posted?
Oh, okay.
Like,
Sorry. Yeah. So I feel like just what cancel, thank you, cancel culture is just that when somebody makes a mistake, it can be a post, but it's more of like, again, when they do something that the masses don't really agree with, or it could be controversial or whatever, you know, again, it's just the idea that when someone shows up as a human being, that we have to cancel them and that. So, like, if you had a friendship where you felt like you should have cut them off because of any reason, have you felt like that before?
Yeah, I hate cancel culture
Yeah.
so much. I think that we need to just be more empathetic towards everyone. Like, people say and do stupid stuff, and sometimes people don't know any better. Like, okay, like you said something super, super ignorant.
Right.
Rather than like going crazy and like calling you all types of names and whatever, like, let me just educate you real quick. Let me show you some love so you don't get defensive, and let me teach you why you don't say that. Because like, I feel like that is the real way we can like teach people.
Yeah.
So, like, we have to another J. Cole line. We gotta treat people like children. Like, you can't be so quick with kids. You're not going. If kid knocks something off the table, you're not about to
Cancel them.
and kick them out and put them on the street. Like, that's not what I hope you don't do that. Instead, you're just like, well, why'd you knock it over? Was it a mistake? Was it intentional? All right, it was intentional. Let me teach you why you shouldn't do that.
Okay.
I feel like cancel culture in the beginning, it was, you know, just trying to call people out for doing bad stuff because people who were doing bad stuff weren't getting any repercussions from that. And it started off with good intention of like, we're just trying to let y'all know, like, this person has been abusing all these people and we should probably not support that. And like, you know, but then we took it and we were like, everybody, you know, because you can't point the finger without pointing the finger back, right? It's like, oh, but what about you? So I don't ever really intentionally cut people off. Maybe I'll have like feelings, like ideas of like, dang, they really pissed me off. So I feel like I want to like cut them off, but my loving nature won't let me do it. And I eventually get over it. I'm like, because, you know, I'm also aware, like, we make mistakes. And like I had a friend do something that I was like, and I was quick to be like, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And then I was like, I like thought about it in her shoes and I was like, okay, like I can see how, like what her train of thought could have been, even right or wrong, whatever. And see like how she may have said that and been like, okay, like it's not that deep to me. Like, it doesn't really affect me anyway, so she shouldn't be canceled or cut off for this reason. But yeah, I think it does pop up, you know, like even with relationships, they piss me off. I'm like, I'm about to go find somebody else, you know?
Can be quick, right? Yeah.
And then I gotta realize, like, actually, I love him, and I be making mistakes all the time too. Like, let's show each other grace and like talk through like why it hurt my feelings or made me think that way.
Yeah, kudos to you for that, because that's not easy at all. And again, I will speak for myself, and I will say, quick to jump to those conclusions and be like, oh, you did this, all right, bet, say no more. But
like, I see your true colors, and
right,
it's like
right. But that's also where I can acknowledge where I'm at with my healing process and my journey, where it's like, okay, are we saying that we also are not showing enough grace to ourselves?
Right.
If you're not willing to do that for somebody else, right? And I feel like especially that happens to us in relationships when our friends get a boyfriend. When our friends get in a relationship, it seems like we just don't, either we don't want to hear about it.
About their relationship?
Or that once they start to hang out with said partner, could be male or female, that we just become non-existent anymore, and that we have a very hard time accepting that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's something that as women, I'm also curious about. Why is it that as soon as a relationship comes into play, why is it, well, one, hard for us to balance our friendships and our relationships, but also why, right, yeah, I feel like you're going to say something, because,
I think, okay, so in my experience, I was definitely that type to get a boo and disappear off the face of the earth because
I'm in love.
Like, listen. So it's like, and I'm also the type to fall in love real quickly. So it's just like,
I heard you. I heard you.
And but what I'm learning from that experience is that, like, you know, that is a fast road to codependency. And codependency, there's nothing healthy about that. Nothing. And so, like, and it just happens so fast that, like, you wake up and you're just like, dang, I haven't spoken to my friends in 6 months.
It's been a year.
Are we still, like, are you still alive? And then to be on the other end of just like, oh, like, you and your boo fighting?
Right.
Is that why you want to hit me up? Is that why you want to talk to me? Like, and yeah, I was that friend. But so the way that I, like, envision just, like, all my relationships, friends, romantic, like, business, like, it's just like, they're all streams of love to me. So, like, no one is more important than the other. Like, and I'm really trying to be intentional about that, because it's just too easy when you do get a boyfriend to just be like, this holds more weight than my 6-7 year friendship with my best friend. Like, no.
That's been with me through everything and anything. Yeah.
Y'all all love me. You guys should all have this understanding that, like, y'all all need a little Vic in your life. And so, like, let's just, you know, not forget that balance is important.
Yeah.
Right. That just definitely it's so funny, because, you know, guilty. I'm guilty always. I'm hard, and Scorpio, we're very obsessive and possessive. It's like, if I love you 1,000%. Like, where are we going?
Dang, where are we going?
Where are we going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Babe's right outside. Babe's right outside this room right now. He was like, where are we going? Like, we're going to an interview.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're very much very emotional. But I'm thinking about I definitely, this relationship is very important to me, and I'm trying to be the best version in this one. Like, not that I wasn't trying to, I just had no clue before. So now I know, like, friends, like, why it was toxic before is because you cut off all your friends. You had no other outlet but that one person, and it became so bad. So now I'm like, you know, me and Vic have a solid friendship. I'm trying to be, like, very, like, intentional with sending messages or responding quicker than I normally do, and just trying to keep those balance as well. And so it made me think why some people, and even myself in the past, have slowly drifted from my friends. Is like, as my friend, I want to tell you whatever is happening because you're who I solve my problems with. But if one day he pisses me off and I tell you how he was a jerk, you're not going to like him. You don't even want to hear it next time.
Facts.
Because you told me I shouldn't be with a jerk. And so now I can't tell you that he was being a jerk, even though I was also being a jerk. And then we resolved it and now we're not jerks anymore, whatever the case may be. It's like, but I'm embarrassed, or I don't want to keep, giving you all my business. And then, I don't know, I'm still learning that balance now of also, don't be embarrassed about, if you have issues. I understand, people want to keep privacy, but, if it's a learning opportunity, when we share different stuff, we're like, wow, I was experiencing the same thing in my relationship. And if we didn't, talk about it, we would have both thought we were crazy, and we would have never resolved it. And being real and, or if we go back, we were like, we'll have our little, we made up, and we're kind of and we just laugh with each other, it's okay, that's your boo, I know you love him, or whatever the case, and respecting that instead of just being stupid, why would you go back with him,
judgmental,
right?
Everybody has a journey.
Yeah.
So it's and I think back to my relationship, it was toxic, really toxic, and all my friends would try to tell me about it, and I'm like, you don't know it. You don't know what's going on, okay? Please don't talk about my, and it's just of course, granted, it's still stuck in the back of my head, and I'm grateful that people, told me about the red flags they were seeing, because in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, we're right. So, I know that I can, I value, my mom is one that would tell me all the time, I don't think that's normal. And I'm just like, Mom, shut up.
When a mother knows, a mother knows.
Right. But now I trust her words so much because she was right. And so, with my relationships now, or my, drama or whatever, like I'll come to her and like I value her insight because it's like I know it's valid. Right. I might not receive it in the moment, but I know it's valid. So.
And it's coming from a good place, right? Which is like a really good segue into where sometimes I think where we fall short is not being fully honest with our friends and how we feel. Or if we are honest, it might not be coming from the best place. Or if we are honest, they might have taken it a different way. So it's like there's so many different areas where I think we as women, again, could do better. Whereas like you said, like, oh, stupid. It's like, all right, like I didn't need to hear that. Like in hindsight, I know it was stupid, but as my friend, why are you coming to me with ill intentions of pulling me down?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and throwing in my face my own mistake where it's like,
when I'm trying to come to you and share.
That wasn't the best, choice, but we've all been blinded by the goods.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we've all been blinded by it, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think, or I'm going to ask y'all, why else do y'all think it's so difficult for us to be honest with each other and to not take it personal in between friends?
I think for me, sometimes I struggle with I don't mind receiving it. Sometimes I feel a way or a little anxiety giving it. So sometimes especially with the new friendships, with Mel, for example, at the beginning of us rekindling our friendship, I'm just I don't know how she is receiving insight. So I'm not trying to offend, I'm not trying to trigger nothing, I'm not trying, so let me just dibble dabble and then see if she takes it and if she wants more. All right, let me give you a little bit more and see if you're gonna receive it. And she is receptive of it. But in that gives me so much anxiety because the worst thing I within a friendship is for me to try to be honest and try to give you try to give you what I see, some if it's a red flag or whatever, and have it be my intentions be questioned or like just not received and like, well, why are you telling me this? Like, what, you don't like him or like, you know what I mean? I'm just like,
the fence already coming up. Yeah.
Once I see that, I'm just like, all right, now I'm never going to say anything to you because that is like, that might be like a Leo thing, but like once my intention is questioned, it's just like, all right, well, I'm done.
But I like what you said though, is like, I know this might have been a personal, like internal questioning of like, I'm not sure how she's receiving it, but even like literally asking our friends, how do you like to receive feedback? Is there ever a situation where I can say something that's bothering me or say something where, you know, if you're in a relationship and I might not be getting the best vibes from my guy, like how can I approach you without you taking it fully defensive? And I'm like, I'm taking notes for my damn self, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yes, it is, or it takes two to tango between friendships, but like that level of self-awareness to be like, let me ask this person, because I know if they said that to me that way, I don't think I would have really, you know, received it.
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. Putting yourself in their shoes and like, how would you like to receive this advice?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of times I just, like, if I can relate, I'm like, I don't say nothing about your story. I just share mine. Like, okay, when I was in a situation that seemed similar, this is what I did. This is what was the outcome. Do you see anything that resembles that? If you do, then this is how I like acted on it. Or if you're like, that's actually not what I'm experiencing at all. And then like, okay, then I was like not understanding what you're going through the right way.
Right.
This is all I have to offer is my own knowledge. I can't give you anything based off of your feelings, your experience, because I'm not a part of that. So I just try to share what I know about me and any helpful thing that helped me navigate. And that's all I can give you. I can't give you any judgment because I don't know. You might that might be your relationship's growing pains. Like, who am I to say you didn't need that argument so y'all could finally talk about whatever?
Right.
So all I can say is, when I've exploded like that, this is what's happened. And this is how I've noticed it was a productive explosion, or this was just how it was going.
Yeah.
And recognizing and just, trying to be like, how would I receive it well? And that's all I can really go off of.
Yeah.
I can't assume anything else is just not a good area to walk into.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for that. That really is all of my questions about this topic. We are going to go into a little speed round in a second. But I did, again, want to thank y'all. I really am loving the flow of conversation one, but between the two of y'all. If y'all haven't already, I'm speaking to you, heard or listened to their podcast, the Solar Return podcast, what are you waiting for?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because these are the type of conversations that they have. Really important, get to the root, no nonsense conversations about healing. So just thank y'all so much for that. And, the other thing that I really loved that y'all said, again, and this is me outside looking in, looking at your friendship. But the one thing that you said in there was so beautiful, and it was about how, Vic, you're helping Mel heal her throat chakra while Mel is helping Vic heal her heart chakra.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what you say right now.
That's what it is. Like, that's exactly what it's all about. Exactly. Dang. Cool. So, yeah. But that was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Those are all of my questions about the topic. Now we're going to head into the speed round part of this. Y'all ready? Wait, I do have a drum roll.
Oh!
Right? It was better than the clap. The clap sounds like burping or something. Okay. 3 minutes on the clock. I'm going to ask a question. Both of you can, again, feel free to answer. And then we'll go from there. Okay?
I'm ready.
Oh, should I start with that one? Maybe. Oh, wait. Yeah, we good? Because I got mad questions. Okay, this time. Yeah. All right. And a lesson you learned the hard way.
Heartbreak.
3, 2.
Pass.
No passing right now.
That's okay. When are you most productive?
Mornings.
At night.
Your biggest inspiration right now?
Nature.
God.
Oh, Favorite number and why?
3.
Number?
I don't know.
11. Oh, because it's a double number and it equals 2. And I like even numbers, but it's odd numbers that equal even. So that's why weird on this.
That's okay. That's okay.
I just
say
said
your number
I
already?
don't know.
Oh,
It's
3.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
but I don't know.
All right. Advice you would, well, we did that earlier. Something that you don't like doing.
Washing dishes?
That works.
Going places I don't want to go.
Okay.
You need to stay home.
Something you do like doing.
Creating.
Yeah. Reading.
Reading. Okay. What is one non-negotiable or non-negotiables that you have for your day?
For your day?
I was about to turn up. Okay.
Right. I feel like I don't understand the question. Try to.
Something that you have to do every single day.
Oh, I tell someone I love them every day.
Fire.
Drink water.
That's thank you.
Like, absolutely, I need to.
Because your skin is amazing,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to drink.
Toxic trait you have overcome.
Validation, needing it.
Okay.
Toxic obsession. I feel like I'm a healthy obsessor now. Before I used to get like aggressively. Like,
Aggressive.
Okay.
nah, it's
Something
like
that you
nicer
still
stuff.
have not overcome.
Sugar addiction.
You see me, and I see you.
I see you.
Okay.
Doing what I say I'm going to do.
You hear?
Discipline.
So not doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Something that you have forgiven yourself for.
For trusting the wrong people.
Letting my ego take the front seat.
Okay. Something that you are actively releasing.
Pain.
Doubt.
Ooh, that was nice.
What gets you excited about life?
Dos.
What gets you excited about life?
The unknown.
Alignment, God's alignment. Like, cause his surprises, like, I don't even know. So it is the unknown, but like that part. When
Okay.
when
What are you
find
calling
out
in for
the-
2022?
Love. Like, like love, more love.
Okay.
Also.
Woo! We made it through
Yay.
the speed round.
Oh, I wasn't even looking at the time. Did we just make it, or is
Like,
it?
yeah, it was like Vic said it, and then it was like,
Right, they knew that was my thing. I'm like, word,
I
retweet.
couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Right. That's okay. Well, thank y'all for participating in the speed round. A couple more things before I let you go. So our next segment is called You Got Served. And we're going to take a quick break so we can have Mimi. Shout out to Mimi. Shout out. Mimi is going to warm up the food of the day. And then when we get back, I will introduce the segment. Be right back. I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. Did you eat today, by the way? If not, why the hell not? Do me a favor, before we get back into the show, can you go grab like a snack or a meal or something? You can pause right here. Also, that's fine. Did you get it? It's okay. Pause it really quick. It's okay. I'll stay here. We can stay here all day. I mean, I need you to go get something to eat, for real, for real. You got your snack? All right, bet. Back to the show. Cool. So we are back, y'all, and we're about to do the segment called You Got Served. Can I have Mimi come in with the food really quickly? Let me get the John. Wait. Hey!
It smells
Thank you so
Thank you so much. You didn't
much.
even know you was chefing it
Y'all,
up.
shout out to Mimi for this. God bless. Yep. So while she's putting this down, for today, our soup of the day is a vegan lentil soup. So we have some black beans in here. We got some corn, lentils, of course, some coconut milk, some veggie broth, and seasoning, of course, some onion, of course, duh. And today I was just feeling a little spicy. It's kind of cold outside, and just wanted y'all to feel warm and fuzzy after this really amazing conversation that we just had.
Yay.
So please help yourself. Please dive in if you would like. And while y'all are doing that, again, I am serving you, and I'm going to just ask that y'all do something to serve your community, okay? So what I'm gonna do is ask you to pick a number between 1 and 70, and then I'm gonna have Mimi again give you what your community task what your community service task is, and then I'll just ask you, let us know how it went.
All right, awesome.
Okay? So, 170. I feel like I already know what your numbers are.
I changed it. So.
Me too.
I just said it's number 1.
And I picked 22.
See, and that was what I was going to say.
That's my birthday.
Love you. And it's 11 multiplied. Like, I'm like,
And I picked 1.
aw, you simplified my 11. Look at us. Like
What we
making
got, Mimi?
connections.
Okay, so for you, Mel, so you're going to teach things to your community. 22 is teach underclassmen safe social media practices.
Um,
And for
what the hell
Vic,
am I always about?
Right.
Okay, got that.
Wow,
And
that's
and who's the educator here? All right, what we got for Vic?
And for Vic, you are going to collect things for your community and collect school supplies.
Ooh.
Vic is going to collect school
That's
supplies for her
amazing.
community.
Yeah.
Super
Okay.
relevant
I know, we
to
just
what we're
did an
about.
event. Yeah, we just did an event in November doing exactly that and have been in the works of like, should we do another one? So that was affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
Doing
one.
another one.
Right. Okay. Dang. Well,
Yeah,
thank
awesome.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again for being here, for being present, for having this conversation with me. Just want y'all to just pick a camera, any camera, tell people who or where they can find you, how they can support you. Whoever can go first.
Okay, well, I'm Vic, and you can follow me at LadyVic __ on Instagram, Lady VIC. And again, we have the Solar Return podcast. It's super dope. It's my favorite podcast, unbiasedly, but we're available on all podcast platforms. So find us at the Solar Return podcast. And then Revolutionary Artists, we're both educators and mentors within it. Revolutionary Artists is a collective of artists and community members, community leaders that really just gather to push the mission of holistic education, creative expression, positive art. And so, yeah, check us out on Instagram at Revolutionary Artists.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Like 2 out of 3 of our things. Look, I'm like not knowing how to count, but 2 out of 3 of the things are we doing it together. I love our friendship. Look, podcast, youth development. We're out here.
Yeah.
My personal account is Belly Mets, BELLYMETS. That's for all of my random creative things. Go there. And for my personal art page, it's Art Heals All. That's Art Heals HEALS. All of us, everybody, everything, ALL. And you can find my website in my bio. I do like emotional energy readings, paintings, commissions, classes, all of the above, and then also within the other ways that we do that, which is Revolutionary Artists and Solar Return. So check us out, hit us up. We love talking, obviously. So thank you for having us. Oh, I wanted to say feeding or food is like my friend love language. I love when friends feed me, so thank you for being a good friend as well today.
Of course.
And nourishing our bodies, especially with a vegan meal, something.
You already
something
know.
nutritious. It's literally good for us, and we had a conversation that was good for us.
Word.
So
Thank you. Thank you for that. Ugh. This was a good one. This was a really good one. So, y'all, if you like to heal, if you like to be empowered, tap in with these two, okay? And again, y'all, I'm talking to you right there. I want to thank you so much for spending time with us. You didn't have to at all, to be honest. And you know that time is not a resource that you can get back. So thank you for spending your time and energy with all of us today. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Please go out there and do something that your future self will thank you for and your past self will love you for. Peace.
You got served. We're just gonna have the dance battle on the corner over here.
That's fine.
I'm like,
Not hard to do.
Meganese.
No music. She said Meganese.
No. You know what she was like?
Wait, but then you see Sierra's knees.
No, yeah, she been, yeah.
Sheesh, what an episode. I hope you enjoyed this show just as much as we enjoyed filming it. But listen, I would love to hear from you. If you want to do me a solid, you can like this video and leave a comment so I can hear your thoughts about today's show. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, see ya!